Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I hope you choose to stick around. In this video, I will just be talking about the time I walked out on one of my jobs in the middle of my shift, because that job had me so messed up. So guys, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It helps your girl greatly, and let's get into the video. I'm gonna be turning, keep holding me down. Disclaimer, I am in no way condoning just walking out in the middle of the job. Now, sometimes people, like corporations and jobs, will take advantage of you, and they'll like try to get you to do more than what's on your payroll, and they'll like guilt trip you into doing it. So some jobs kind of deserve it. I cannot lie. Some jobs do kind of deserve it, but in the long run, you don't want that on your reputation. So not all jobs just walk out in the middle of the shift. Don't take my advice. Don't walk out of a job. But the job had me messed up, so I had to show them better than I could tell them. So for obvious reasons, I'm not going to tell you guys what job it was or where it was, just for safety reasons. But so I had this one job. It was last summer. I had a job, or maybe 2 summers ago. I don't know. It was either last summer or 2 summers ago. I had this job. I started out as a cashier. The job was going fine. I wasn't working like crazy hours or anything. Nothing that I couldn't handle, because I've worked in retail before, so this wasn't anything new for me. So I was fine. The job was going well. One of my supervisors, she came to me and asked me if I wanted to be promoted to a supervisor. Now the title wasn't supervisor, it was like head something, not head cashier. I forget, but like head lead or something like that. She wanted me to be a lead. So I'm thinking, okay, the pay goes up, I'll get more hours, my check's about to be nice. Yes, I want that job. Give it to me now, please. So they interviewed me for that position. They drug tested me, all that good stuff. I passed everything. I got the position. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm a lead. I'm now in charge of my schedule. So with the lead, if you're the lead on that shift that day, you're in charge of all the cashiers and associates, making sure they're doing their part. So I'm thinking I'm big dog. Okay, I'm in charge of y'all. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not bossy. I'm not mean. I wasn't none of that. But it was still nice to feel like, oh, I'm in charge. Yay.
Okay. Whatever that means.
So I'm thinking it's great. So I'm going through training. The other lead who was there with me, she was telling me how to do this. She was training me, going through everything. I closed and opened so I could know how to close and open the store. Everything was going good. I had no issue with it. Counting the money wasn't an issue. Giving people tasks wasn't an issue. Stocking the store wasn't an issue. I was good. Then one day, we had truck. Now, I forget what days it was, or if it was like once a week or twice a week, but we would have a truck come with all our products. We would come, get it together, and then go put it on the sales floor on the shelf. So all the leads are in the back. And I'm still in training at this time. I'm still in training. All the leads go to the back to get the truck ready. So we have totes coming down. Now, y'all, this is like 100, 200 piece totes. So we have a whole bunch of stuff to get in the back house to bring to the front so we can put it on the shelves. Now, it was not bad that first time because, like I said, all the leads were in the back doing it. We had buku amount of help. So I'm thinking, okay, this is probably going to be the hardest thing of the job, just trying to get these 200 piece totes together so I can, and you have to separate them from different departments in the store. So like we have a feminine hygiene department, or a baby department, or like vitamins or something like that. So you have to separate them from department to department so we know which one to bring where. And like we would give them to the associates and be like, okay, this is front of house, or this is medicine, so you know where to bring it and where to put it on the shelves, that thing. So I'm thinking, okay, this is probably the hardest part, but then again, it's not that hard because I'm not going to be doing it by myself. So I was like, okay, cool. I can do this. So we finished doing that. We finished in the back. All of us go back up front. doing our job. I'm like, all right. I left that day feeling good. I'm a lead. I'm making more money. I'm in charge of my group. And it's really not that much more work. The only much more work would be the getting the totes ready to bring to front of house and then closing and opening the store. Everything else I was already doing as a cashier. So I'm like, this is good. I can do this. So weeks go by. I'm still doing good. It's getting a little more frustrating because at night when you close the drawers, so we take all the drawers, bring the money to the back, and we count them to make sure our drawers are even. Every now and then my drawers wouldn't be even and I would not know how to correct it. So I would just leave it. And so then the next day the supervisors would be like, okay, so like what happened? Why couldn't you do this? And like, so that was like the only frustrating part. For some reason, I just could not get my drawers even. So that was kind of frustrating me a bit. But eventually I got the hang of that, and then my drawers started becoming even, or I would have a surplus. So eventually that wasn't an issue either, but that was kind of a bump in the road at first. Then I started noticing the little groups, little cliques. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Now, granted, I was very accepted and like they allowed me to come into their clique. So it really wasn't an issue for me per se, but the fact that I could just see the cliques and see like which group is which, and I heard both sides because I'm a very personable person. I get along with a lot of people. So I was in this group with the clique, and then like the associates, I could tell that they were getting aggravated because it seemed like they would take sides, take favorites. So I could see both sides. So the fact that I was just in the middle of that was kind of frustrating and kind of like discouraging. Like, y'all, I'm just here to do my job. I mean, of course, it's nice to make coworker friends so work isn't completely hell for you and you can have fun at least while you're on the clock. So of course I want to be friendly with people and, you know, have some type of associates with people, but ultimately, I'm just here to do my job. Please, let's act like adults. We don't need the clique thing, please. So that was another thing where I was kind of like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, can we just all be adults, do our job, and go home? Please. Can that be it? So the job is still going fine. Those are the only two things, not being able to get my registers even, and then the whole clique thing. That was the only two things that really kind of put a damper on my mood. Then came the staying all day. Now, you either open or close as a lead. So some days I would open, some days I would close. But then it became, I would open, and keep in mind, I would have to be there for like 5, 6 a.m. 5 a.m., now that I'm thinking of it, because I used to wake up at 4 a.m. so I could be there for 5 a.m. So I have to be there for 5 a.m. because we open at 6 a.m. So I have to obviously be there earlier so I can get the store ready to open. So I have to be there for 5 a.m., which is fine because then I will get off at 2. A regular 7-8 hour shift. That's fine. Not really tripping about that. And I get a lunch break. I get a couple breaks in between. It's whatever. I'm not really tripping about that. But then while on my shift, they would start calling me on my personal phone, by the way. Hey, so-and-so can't close tonight. Can you pull a double? Now, the first time I was like, oh yeah, I can do it because I wanted to be a team player. And I was like, if I was in a situation where I couldn't be there, I would like somebody to step up for me and, you know, take my shift for me. So I'm like, yeah. So that happened a couple times, me going there at 5 a.m. and not leaving until 12 midnight. Let that sink in. Me going there at 5 a.m. and not leaving until the next day, 12 midnight. That happened a couple times where I had to work that extensive schedule. So that was kind of another one. Like the first time I said yes, I was like, okay, cool. And then they kept calling me, hey, can you do this double for me tonight? Hey, can you do double? And that's another thing. Back to what I said about them taking advantage of you. Now, there is nothing wrong with being a team player, and every once in a while, if you truly can and if you truly want to help out. And okay, my camera cut out, sorry. But like I was saying, if you truly can and truly want to, there is nothing wrong with being a team player and staying a little later to help out. But Do not let them take advantage of you. Do not let them just push that onto you all the time because they know you're going to say yes. No, it is also okay to put your foot down and stand your ground and be like, no, I can't tonight. And you do not have to get into detail. You do not have to tell them your business. You do not have to tell them why you can't. Just be like, no, I can't. Simple as that. So yeah, don't be a pushover. Do not let them take advantage of you. But unfortunately, I was a pushover. I kept staying late. 5 a.m., 12 midnight. Do not forget that. I kept staying late. So I just kept getting like really frustrated. Now, what put the nail in the coffin was one day I was the only lead on schedule for that evening, for that morning and like day shift. We had a truck coming that day. I don't think I was aware of it. I can't really remember if I knew we had one coming or not. But we had a truck coming that day. Keep in mind, these are 100, 200 piece trucks. That's a lot of tote, especially for a one person to do on their own. That's a lot to do. So I'm in the back, the truck comes. So like I was saying, I had to switch cameras, so this one might be a little different looking, but like I was saying, in the back, the truck comes. Now I'm unloading this 100 and something piece truck by myself. So I was not able to separate it in different categories because I'm doing it by myself. And some of the totes are heavy, like depending on what's in it, it's super heavy. Like the medicine one, we have a bunch of like heavy medicine bottles in it. It's heavy. So I'm irritated as all get out. I call my supervisor and I tell her, hey, a truck came. I'm by myself. What do I do? Like, if I'm stuck in the back because all the totes are surrounding me. I didn't have enough time to separate it. And, you know, it was a lot to do by myself. 100 and something piece truck. So she was like, what? Why didn't you tell me or text me and tell me? I would have came. First of all, it's your job. You should have been here. And two, how do you not know we don't have a truck coming today, or that if we do have a truck coming today? This is literally your job. Keep in mind, I'm off of training, but I'm still fairly new to this position. So I don't know the schedule of when the trucks come. So I'm like, how do you not know that? And you've been here how many years? And then, so she comes in her pajamas, she helps me separate it. I'm like, okay, thank you. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I pulled her off to the side. I said, hey, I don't want to quit. I just want to be demoted back to a cashier. I do not want to be a lead anymore. She was like, okay, I understand that. She was trying to get me to like tell her what was going on. I'm just frustrated. It's a lot for me to do. I did not expect all of this. I don't want to do it anymore. She was like, okay, I get it. She said, but unfortunately, you'll have to stay in this position until we can find another person to replace you. What? First of all, before I got this position, y'all didn't have anybody in this spot. That's why y'all put me in here. So let's go back to not having anybody in that spot and put me back to a cashier. So when she said that, I was like, okay. I told her, okay, yeah, well, I can wait. Girl. So in my next scheduled shift, I get there. Once again, people calling me, Ashton, I need this. Ashton, I need that. Because I'm the lead. They need my help. I'm frustrated. I'm by myself once again. It's a lot going on. I have not taken a break yet. I've been there since 5 a.m. I'm pissed. So I walk into the back office. I take off my lanyard. I take out my keys that belong to the store, place them on the desk. I walk up to the front. I tell the cashier there, I said, hey, I'm going to go outside real quick. I'll be back. Lied. I get in my car, turn it on, drive home. Now, was that the best thing to do? Absolutely not. Like I said, I do not condone just walking out on people in the middle of the shift. That was not very mature of me. I can admit that. But I was just so like overwhelmed, just so like angry at that time. I couldn't see anything but me just getting the heck out of there. So I get home. They are blowing up my phone. They're like, hey, where are you? What happened? The first couple times I didn't answer when they called. Then I finally answered the phone. I told them, I made up a lie. Oh, I had a family emergency. I had to hurry up and go. They're like, okay, just keep us updated. That was like 2 or 1 year ago. I have not spoken to those people to this day. The last conversation I had with them was, oh, I had a family emergency. And that was it. And to this day, I have not stepped foot in that store. To this day, because I still live in this town. To this day, I have not stepped foot in that store. Y'all will not catch me. But yes, you guys, that was the story time of the time I walked out on my job in the middle of my shift because those people had me so messed up. I was so angry. I was over it. So like I said, learn from my mistakes. Don't let people take advantage of you. Do not be a pushover. Stand your ground. But also be responsible. Don't just, I wouldn't say make a habit out of just walking out on jobs in the middle of your shift. Don't do that. I've only done it that one time. That's the only time I've done that. So, don't make a habit out of it. But like I said, don't be a pushover. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.